At this point, we are taking a little break from EMDR and we are going to talk briefly about the history of psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. It's important to understand the history because we want to learn from indigenous cultures, cultures that have used these medicines for thousands of years. So that would be the remote history. There is evidence from cultures from all over the world that people have used plant medicines for healing and for ceremonies, and we want to learn from them. Some of these cultures still exist, and we can learn from what they do. In the more recent history, we will focus on the 60s. The 1960s, there were mistakes that were made, and we want to make sure that we learn from these mistakes and not repeat the same mistakes. What is interesting is that indigenous cultures and even the people in the 60s didn't have access to brain scanners and all the proof that we have today to show us that plant medicine and psychedelics lead to some changes in the brain. So we're talking about thousands of years back, and these people from indigenous cultures had this intuitive knowledge, and they just knew they didn't need the brain scanners to show them that these medicines have healing potential. We've had a lot of research over the past couple of decades, and the research is really encouraging because we need this research to get FDA approvals and all that. But there is a wisdom that we can learn that is not our Western wisdom. It's a more traditional wisdom. And I think I want to encourage you to be open to learn from this wisdom. And I think we have this Western arrogant perspective that it always has to be research-based, evidence-based. And when it comes to healing, there's an intuitive wisdom that I think we can all tap into and kind of shift a little bit from our Western perspective. I'm not asking you to not to consider research. I'm asking you to step back and look at the wisdom of other cultures and what we can learn from them.